Yes, good morning. This is Andrew from Abraham Trading Consultants and Trend Following Mentor. It is February 19th, 2014. And in this short video, I'm going to talk about really parking your opinions and really believing that you don't know the future and it's pointless to have an opinion. And unfortunately, everyone wants to have an opinion. Everyone wants to be right. Well, successful trading isn't about being right. Successful trading means having a trading plan and following it. What do I mean by this? In my formative years, I'm aging myself, I actually was in a convention. I spoke at a convention, and the keynote speaker was Leo Melamed from the CME, who was a historic figure. And he spoke about his biggest trading mistake ever. And his biggest trading mistake ever was exiting silver when he thought it went too high. And you think, hey, this guy, he really has the credentials of knowing what it takes to be a successful trader. But what he said in that actual basically discussion was his biggest mistake about silver. And that kind of leads me to almost like I'm thinking about the Nasdaq and also silver. So let me jump over to Meta stock. Right now, if you look at let's say the Nasdaq, and you look at the recent news, George Soros came out and basically is calling for a crash, and he's leveraging his fund to a major degree. And you know what? Maybe he's right, maybe he's not right. But at the fact of this moment, if you have to look at the market day by day, the market is going up. We're basically in one of the longest bull markets ever. Actually, I believe it's the second longest bull market, with the stock market, actually it being up approximately about 130, 140%. And you have a lot of leaders breaking out, gapping up. You have the pharmaceuticals, which are strong. So, and even yesterday, which I thought was very interesting with the Nasdaq, you had some bad news. The home builders came in with some extremely negative sentiment. The Empire manufacturing number was way off. Yet, again, the Nasdaq was up, albeit it was on small volume. But really, what is the point here? Put things into the perspective. Don't have an opinion. Because if you look at this, let's do this on a monthly, actually. The Nasdaq is at a 13.5-year high. It's like it's having its bar mitzvah in the Jewish tradition. It's becoming a man. The fact is, anything can happen. The thing is, you need a trading plan. And if you take things into perspective, only a couple of short weeks ago, there was a lot of negativity with the S&Ps and the Nasdaq, and people were calling, they think it was going to crash. Now everyone's optimistic again. It's kind of scary, because you have to think of things into this context that China sold off U.S. Treasuries in December. Student loans are defaulting in about $1 trillion range. And me, just on a very simple barometer, I'm having more and more contacts, not just from professional traders, but from new traders that want the secret sauce. They think they can learn this in a weekend. And let me tell you, trading has to be one of the toughest things ever. It truly is. I've been doing it since 1994. You always have losses. You always have drawdowns. It's never easy. But the thing is, what is my point? I really want to stress this bull market can really continue. Or maybe not. And it's like with silver. Let me show you silver. And this is actually the ETF silver. You've had this massive run up in silver. And again, any trend follower would be buying this. Yes, I bought this. I mean, you can just see the breakout right here. It's not rocket science. And as much as that can happen, and who knows what it will be, I remember being in silver here. And this was a good year in 2010. I had one of my good years. This was a massive move. And then, lo and behold, this went, I remember it was around 50, just cratering. This is what trading is. This is why you need to have a trading plan. It's not that you listen to CNBC or you listen to George Soros who says to short the market or anything like that. And this is what I do. First of all, I trade for a living. I'm in the markets every day when the markets are open since 1994. And I've seen all kinds of bull markets. I've seen bear markets. I've seen supposedly peak oil that crude went to in the $140 range down to the $30-something range, and all the experts were wrong. And the same thing with gold. Everyone was calling $2,000 and $5,000 gold recently, and it fell out of bed. There are no experts. You need to put in the work, and you need to have a trading plan. This is what I do. I trade for a living. I manage money. And then also what really helps me to be balanced is I teach. Not really teach. I would say coach or train. I had a great conversation with a colleague talking about trading. And unfortunately, there's so many, let's say, traders out there that don't trade that teach. And unfortunately, they're not the kind of people you want to associate yourself with. And ironically, my mentor or my trainer was a dentist. I mean, it wasn't really what you expect, but this is a guy who's able to compound money. This is what your goal is, to compound money or attempt to compound money over long periods of time. And I want to reiterate, it's not easy. You'll always have losses. You'll always have drawdowns. You try to keep your losses small. And this is what I try to help you with. Again, I'm available for consulting services. I also speak at conferences. I've spoken at these. I'm speaking at another one coming up with Reuters. Again, I'm here to help you. And again, I also want to refer you to my disclosures. Again, because I showed you some charts and stock charts. All the disclosures are on the website. But again, really my goal is to help you. And again, this is my email. You can just click that little button. You can email me. I get a lot of emails during the day. I prefer emails than just people calling me. But again, I'm here to help you in any way I can. Thank you very much.